Welcome back into the Running Eagle Sports Network. My name is Billy Mangum, the Sports Information Director here at Life University. I'm joined today by Dr. Blake Bradford, the head coach of the men's club rugby team. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure, Billy.
So let's go over the 2019 season. Not going to say 2019-20, a little different format than we've had in the past. Just kind of want to sit down today, go over your schedule, talk about the changes that we're making and the reason for those changes, and just kind of hit everything on the head. So you start off on the road, New York, September 7th. Come back home opener a week later, September 14th. So talk a little bit about the way that. Let's get into the structure first. What is the overall structure of this year, and why is it a little bit different than it has been in the past?
So the full structure is pretty similar in the fact that we're playing in the IRP and we're playing similar teams in New York Athletic Club, New York Old Blue, Mystic River. The league has added another Atlanta team, 404, which is an academy team for Rugby ATL. So that adds 2 games to the season. The format's different in the sense that we're only going to play a full championship. With Major League Rugby growing year after year, it's kind of forcing a change to club rugby, and the East Coast has kind of decided that we want to play our club rugby in the fall. There's not been a complete buy-in from the West Coast, so there's a little bit of a split across the country when it comes to club rugby. So we'll play an ARP season, which is made up of East Coast teams, 2 New York teams, a Boston team, and 2 Atlanta teams. And the champion of that league will play a crossover game with the Midwest for a fall championship called the Elite Cup.
And the 404 Atlanta team, those games will be at Life University.
Yep, they'll be using Life as a home base for the near future.
So there's going to be a lot of rugby for fans to come out to this year.
Absolutely, there'll be a lot of rugby. There'll be a double header on October 12th with both teams of home games. The 2 Atlanta teams are playing each other on October 5th. So a lot of rugby for the fans in Atlanta.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you mentioned October 5th. That's actually during the fall celebration. So being a professor here, you kind of get both sides of the fall CE. Being a professor and also an athletics coach. So tell us a little bit about a little bit more about what goes into fall celebration. Everything that's going to be happening, and then about y'all's rugby game that night.
Yeah, so the fall celebration is a great event that the university puts on, where chiropractors can come and do their continuing education credits. So what that means for us on the rugby side of things is that we have a lot of our alumni. We have a big chiropractic alumni base all coming into town to not only come do continuing education credits, see all the changes that are happening on campus on a regular basis, but they also get to come watch some rugby. So over the last few years, we've always tried to make sure that we had a game the evening that doesn't interfere with their classes, and so we'll kick off at 6 p.m. We'll play our derby game against the other Atlanta team, and so it'll be a fun weekend because the chiropractors that come into town get to kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. They get to do some credits, they get to watch some rugby and support the team, and it's a good time for our players to catch up with some of the alumni, and because a lot of them are mentored by them, and kind of like guiding them through their careers, and we have a lot of our players that end up working and associating with a lot of our alumni. So it's just a great weekend for everyone to meet and catch up and talk about rugby and chiropractic.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's having the fall celebration. There's a lot of things going on at Life University. It's kind of a cool opportunity to kind of open our doors and say, this is what the rest of our athletic department is doing. This is what we have rugby. We have 18 other sports now. We have men's volleyball. We have women's lacrosse that just started last year. Both established soccer programs. We have a wrestling program that's coming off of a top 3 finish. And congratulations as well for last year's national championship. But I guess that's my thing where we want to kind of clear that up for the fans is you're not necessarily going to be national champions this year, but there's still that competitive feel where you can win a championship.
Correct. Yeah. So it's like I said, with a split, not everyone wanting to play a full season. Um, it's not a true national championship in the sense that there will still be a D1 national championship in the spring. It just won't have all the top teams from the East Coast in it, and it's a decision that we made as a league. That we want to allow our players to progress and play up into the MLR. It's part of the development. So instead of us kind of fighting with that league, we've decided that we want to do what's best for our players, and it's give them the opportunity, to play professional rugby if they so choose to do that. And that's always been the goal for us. Is one, we want to help athletes, get degrees, and we also want to, help develop them as players. And so that's important. And we thought as a league that, in order for us to do that, we got to work with the MLR and make sure that our seasonality is right.
Definitely. So let's talk a little bit about that roster this year. Not really losing anybody that I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously a stellar year last year. Coming off that, come from behind, last second victory over the Austin Blacks in the championship. Talk a little bit about your roster. For the people who aren't familiar with your team, who are the big boys on the team.
Yeah, so we have pretty much, like you said, our national championship team back this year. The only player we lost was John Lauer, who graduated. And then we've added in, Duncan Van Schalkwyk, Jamie Beresford, and Julian Montes from our undergraduate program. So we've added, 3 guys that were all Americans this year. So that's a great addition for our team. And then we got some of our returners coming back for a final season. Guys like Sean Coughlin, Austin White, Muddy Karoy, Nitlan Gericke, Jamie Franta, these JP Poole, these are all guys playing in their final season with life. So the team looks pretty good. It's a strong group, and we're excited for all the players that we've added.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be interesting to see. You see a lot of stuff out there where that a lot of teams are really excited that there's a MLR team in the South. And it's going to be exciting for me, both getting to know these players and then seeing that transition to the MLR. I had a chance to talk to a couple of the guys about it, and they're all super excited. I mean, what an opportunity to essentially not even have to leave home. Yeah. They get to stay in their apartment still. Yeah. They don't have to worry about a lot of them have already been away from their family, so it's nothing new to them. Yeah. So I'm very excited to see how that can go. So last thing here, wrapping everything up. What are your expectations to see out of your team this year? Obviously, with the different structure and the fall only schedule, that means you have less time to develop players, less time to teach them new things. But as we mentioned, you basically have your team back. So what are your expectations for the club this year?
Yeah, I think really one of the toughest things is after a national championship is to repeat. It's one of the toughest things in sport, and so the big focus has been on not being complacent, and taking the growth that we had as a team last season and just kind of pushing it even further. So we're not looking to reinvent ourselves this season. We're just looking to build off of what we did last season and grow as a team. We won a national championship, but we fell short one game in the fall. So we are looking to go and win this league in the fall, which we weren't able to do last year. So there is some room for improvement there, and it is a challenge for us to go forth there. So it's the big focus on from the guys and our theme for the season is extreme ownership, and so we want to make sure that the guys really take accountability for their performances and their growth through the season, because like you said, short preseason, right into it, not much time to grow. So the guys have to be dialed in from the beginning, and they have to take their role serious. And the changes that we've made in our structures, they gotta implement that from the beginning. So we're excited about the season. It's another challenge for us, and we look forward to competing and doing well again.
Awesome, Coach. Well, wish you the best of luck this year. I'm really excited to get the ball rolling. Just about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Not even a month. We're inside of a month now, so get the ball rolling there, and then I'm sure as myself, everybody else, we're super excited to see the almost the successes of Life University with the development of the MLR team.
Yeah. No, it's exciting times for rugby in Atlanta.
Awesome, Coach. Well, thank you very much, and best of luck.
My pleasure. Thank you, brother.